I want to go to Senator Mike Rounds right now, the South Dakota Republican, Senate Armed Services Committee, Senate Intelligence Committee member, much more. Senator, very good to have you. I'm curious what you make of these developments. A lot of your colleagues are relieved. Are you?
As we've told other folks, look, this process works. And in this particular case, the Senate is designed to either offer advice or consent. I think the president made the right decision in this particular case. And his reason for that, I don't know for sure, but most certainly it could have been the fact that maybe some of the information that's come out over the last couple of days might be some information that the president simply didn't have beforehand. But the president now has the opportunity to make another choice, and there are a number of good individuals that would fit very well into that position, and I think the president will make the right move. Look, we're looking forward to working with the president to get the job done. It means we want to get his team in place as soon as possible. We really do look forward to finding the path forward and literally getting on with the business of governing and doing it appropriately, cleaning up the mess that's been created over the last couple of years, and starting with tax policy just to begin with.
You indicated that the president had a role in this, the president-elect. Now, Matt Gaetz said he made this decision on his own, but you seem to think he was pushed more than he jumped on his own.
No, I simply would assume that the president would make the final decision and that they probably did it consultatively, but I don't know. I have not spoken to either one of them, but in this particular case, the president still has the ability to nominate someone else, and there are a number of very good qualified individuals there that I think would help the president with his agenda, and that's our goal.
Do you know if there's any truth to this notion? It's out there a lot. You've heard it many times, probably more than you care to, that Gaetz was a sacrificial lamb that paved the way for other controversial nominees, Pete Hegseth, for example, at Defense. Do you buy that? Do you agree with that?
You know, I really do not agree with that. I think that's the wrong approach. I think that's just the Washington, D.C. talk. I think the president takes them one at a time, and I know in the Senate we take them one at a time. And look, we start out with the premise that we want the president to succeed. We give the president the benefit of the doubt in his nominees for the cabinet positions, but we still have a constitutional responsibility for advice and consent. And we take that seriously. But the president, we want him to do this right. We want him to succeed. We want him to have a good team around him. And look, we look forward to having a good series of nominees in front of us. We'll do our due diligence. We'll ask the questions, but we want them to succeed as well.
You know, you've been very conscious of some of this overspending that's been going on and the growth of the bureaucracy. And sure enough, there's a move afoot on the part of the incoming Trump administration to address that. But it's extended, really, if you think about it, Senator, to the size of cabinets. I was looking back at prior presidencies where back in JFK's time, for example, he could fit his entire cabinet right at that table. Right. And now it's extended to chairs behind the big table. And as the cabinet gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, you've looked at the education department, for example, and argued that's one that could go. Could you explain why and what you did today to foster the process?
Absolutely. Look, we have actually introduced the legislation that we've been working on for over a year, which is to eliminate the Federal Department of Education, send the vast majority of the decision-making back to the states and the tribes, and also, though, recognizing that there are a number of programs that the Department of Education has that a lot of people feel are very important, such as special education and so forth. But what we've tried to do is to work through all of those different titles and so forth, identify where they were before 1979 when that cabinet position was created, and put them back where they had been in the first place for those that we keep. But then moving forward, recognize that we spent about $16,000 per student per year, and heck, it just hasn't made any difference. In fact, if you take a look at it, most of the scores have gone down. Math has gone up a whole four points in 4 decades. So look, there's a better way to do it. Get the bureaucrats out of this thing. They haven't educated a single student, but folks back home have. And so let's put some money back in for the folks back home. Let's put a lot of it into block grants, allow the states to actually make those decisions. And where we can save $1 billion, which is what we think we might be able to save by eliminating the department, that's a good step in the right direction. And at the same time, we get the bureaucrats out of schools in our communities.
All right, Senator, well, let us know how that goes. That would open up one chair, and someone relegated to behind the table could move up and slide at the table. But Senator Rounds, very good seeing you again. Thank you very much. All right, I want to show you something.